Good morning. Welcome to the Virtual PC Asia. I'm Stephen from Sony Hong Kong, the Product Marketing Manager of our professional camcorder. Today we are going to share more details of PXW-FX9, one of our full-frame professional camcorders. Actually, we just released the firmware 2.0 in September, so taking this opportunity, let me share more details about that. Before we go to the details of FX9 firmware 2.0, let's quickly take a look about our current lineup. Sony have a lot of different models of professional camcorder to cater for different requests from our customers. Talking about our FX9, actually other than the cinema camera Venus, this is the second full-frame camcorder in our professional series. The FX9 is developed with a combination of different essence of Sony camera technology. For example, we learned the full-frame dual-base ISO from our Venus, inherit the run and gun features from our FS7 series, and also the autofocus technology from our Alpha series. Just want to share some key basic features before going to the details of firmware 2.0. So FX9 is equipped with full-frame 6K sensor, 15 plus drops of wide dynamic range, and also the dual-base ISO of 800 and also 4000. We bring the color science from Venus, which very well appreciated in the film industry, and then develop the acetone in our FX9. And that can give cameraman an option, especially when they are shooting people. The acetone can help deliver alluring facial tones and also a softer tonal look. Our FX9 also have many film rate options for the customer to select. Both are available in the full frame and also Super 35 scan mode. So based on the camera intention, so they can select their preferred frame rate for the shooting. So for our FX9, the autofocus is also customizable. For example, one is talking about the transition speed. We can set the transition speed between two subjects can be very slow or fast, depends on what you are shooting. For example, if you are shooting spot, so you can set the autofocus transition speed to 7, which you can change the subject focus very quickly. Another is talking about the sensitivity. So how sensitive the autofocus is shifting from one subject to another one. So for example, if you want to lock on some subject, it is also possible. So similar to our FS7, so there are different styles, so you can make use with our FX9. So you can put it on the shoulder, hold it on the hand, it is very easy to adjust. So this is inherit from our one and gun style from our FS7. So if you are shooting with a Sony E-mount lens, that is metadata to be stored in the clips, and then you can using the NLE, for example catalyst, to conduct the stabilization in a very quick and easy way. Like our FS7 series, that is extension unit XDCA FX9 available for this camcorder. And then with this extension unit, there are many features be added, including the 16-bit raw output for external recorder, the support of visual battery, the RJ45 interface for the live streaming, and also we can supporting the slot-in wireless receiver for professional audio. Next, we are going to share more details about the firmware 2.0, which has been already released in September. So you can download the firmware in our website. So first we talk about the firmware. So in the firmware 2.0, there are more options for you to choose. So in the red tick in this lines means those kind of resolution and the firmware already be added in the firmware 2.0. So especially talking about the DCI 4K 15p and 16p, which are the requests from many of our users. And then we also add the full frame scan mode Full HD resolution up to 180 frames per second. So if you want to shoot something in the slow motion, then that could be one of the choices you can consider. So another feature in the firmware 2.0 will be the user 3D lookup table. That features will be extremely useful when you are shooting in the S-Log3. So if you have the experience before shooting in S-Log3, usually the clips is very flat. So you have no idea about the contrast and everything. So you can apply this lookup table so you can preview what the final clips look like. And then that can give you a peace of mind. So in this firmware, actually we can import up to 16 files of lookup table. into the internal memory, so you can apply the one you liked during the shooting. So there are also some changes about the gain setting in the firmware 2.0. So we further widen the choices about the ISO setting. There are two base ISO. One is a low base ISO, another one is a high base ISO. So for the low base ISO, we can set the ISO now up to 12,100. And then for the high base ISO, we further widen the ISO setup up to the 100 and 2,400 about the ISO setting. So especially talking about the high base ISO, now you have more choices, especially when you are shooting in the very low light environment. So setting this ISO can make the whole picture more clear without many noises. So next we're talking about the autofocus. In our previous firmware, we are already supporting the phase autofocus. Actually, we received quite positive feedback from the cameraman that can help them to do the focus on the people very accurately. And then in the firmware 2.0, we further improved this kind of autofocus by adding the eye autofocus. In our professional camcorder series, this is the first camcorder with this eye autofocus technology. So I think if you are shooting the people, no matter talking about the interview or talking about drama, if you want to make your focus accurately on the people faces and eye, then this kind of setting will be very useful for helping you to do that. Next, we're talking about some kind of improvement about the operation of change the setting. So in our previous firmware, if you want to change some settings, sometimes maybe you need to go quite deep inside the menu in order to change it. So from the firmware 2.0, we try to improve this situation by adding the touch operation from the menu status screen. Then you can change a lot of settings just very easily and quickly. For example, talking about change of the clock depth or the resolution or image scan mode, etc. So that you can just using the touch operation, and then you can do the setting changes very quick and easy. So from the daily operation, we think this feature can help you save quite a lot of time. So with the firmware 2.0, there are some other updates as well. So first, you are supporting the 16-bit raw output when the XDCA-FX9 has been installed. So we can output the 16-bit raw to the external recorder. So we're also supporting the 6G SDI, so other than the 12G SDI and PG SDI. So for the 6G SDI, you can output 4K 30p directly, just through single SDI cable. So if you install the XDCA-FX9, we're also supporting the S-Log-in wireless audio receiver. So if you are using our Sony wireless mic system, that will be the good news. So last, for the consumer wireless mic system, XLK3M. So there are analog interface and also the digital interface. So starting from firmware 2.0, we are supporting the digital interface as well. So although we just released the firmware 2.0 in September, at the same time we also have the announcement to the public that there will be firmware 3.0 to be released in 2021. So some features already be confirmed, like the supporting of S700 PTP remote protocol. That will be useful if you like to remote control our FX9 in some multi-camcorder operation. And then we also will add the center scan mode for Super 16mm lens. And also with the adapter, we can supporting the B4 lens as well. So we think that will be the good news for many broadcasting stations. And then of course, other than this free, there will be some other new features. We are going to announce to the public when it is available. So that's all the sharing for my session today. So we hope you have a better understanding about the FX9, especially talking about the new features of the firmware 2.0. So thanks again for joining, and then hopefully we can meet face to face someday in somewhere. So bye bye.